slope of a line slope formula. Problem number 1. Find the slope of a line passing through points positive 2 and negative 3 and point positive 7 and positive 8. First, we need to find the values of the first and the second x and y. So for our point 1, positive 2 here, this will be our x sub 1. And negative 3 is our y sub 1. For our point 2, positive 7 is the x sub 2 and positive 8 is the y sub 2. And then we can now solve for the value of the slope. So the formula for the slope is m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x, or rather that is minus x sub 1. And then we will just substitute the given. Our y sub 2 is positive 8 minus y sub 1, which is negative 3. So this is negative 3. All over our x sub 2, that is positive 7 minus x sub 1, which is positive 2. So this will be 8 negative and negative, that will become positive, and 7 minus 2 is 5. So our slope now, which is m, will be equal to 8 plus 3 is 11 divided by 5. So the answer for number 1 for our slope is positive 11 all over 5. Number 2. Find the slope of a line passing through points 0 and negative 2 and point negative 8 and positive 5. Again, we need first to find the values of x and y's of the 2 points. So on our first point, 0 here, this is our x sub 1. Negative 2 is our y sub 1. And negative 8, this is our x sub 2. And positive 5 is our y sub 2. And then we can use the slope formula, which is m equals to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Our value for y sub 2, that is positive 5, and minus that with y sub 1. Our y sub 1 is negative 2 divided by x sub 2, which is negative 8, minus x sub 1, which is 0. So this will be 5 minus times negative, that will be positive now. So y, or rather 5 plus 2 all over negative 8 minus 0, that is negative 8. So our slope now will be positive 7 all over negative 8. So our slope for our second problem is positive 7 all over negative 8. Problem number 3. Find the slope of a line passing through positive points positive 4 and 4 and point negative 9 and positive 4. Let us identify the values of x and y on the 2 points. On our first point, positive 4, this is x sub 1. And another positive 4, this is y sub 1. On the second point, negative 9 is our x sub 2. And positive 4 is our y sub 2. We can then use the slope formula. Again, that is m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Again, just substitute the values. So y sub 2, that is positive 4, minus y sub 1, that is positive 4. All over x sub 2, that's negative 9. minus x sub 1, which is positive 4. So this will be 4 minus 4 is 0, all over negative 9 minus 4, that is negative 13. But we know that any number, or 0 divided by any number, the answer is 0. So our slope for problem number 3 is 0. So we do not have a slope for problem number 3. Problem number 4. Find the slope of a line passing through points positive 7 and positive 8 and point positive 2 and negative 3. So again, let us identify the values of x sub 1 and y sub 1 and x sub 2, y sub 2. So positive 7, this is our x sub 1. Positive 8 is our y sub 1. Positive 2, this is our x sub 2. And negative 3 is our y sub 2. And then we are now going to solve for the slope of a line using the slope formula, that is m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Our y sub 2, that is equal to negative 3 minus y sub 1, which is positive 8, all over x sub 2, that is positive 2 minus x sub 1, that is positive 7. So negative 3 minus 8, that is negative 11, all over 2 minus 7, that will give us negative 2 minus 7, that will give us negative 5 rather. So negative 5. Our slope now will be negative divided by negative, that will become positive. So our slope here will be 11 all over 5. So positive 11 all over 5 is the slope of problem number 4. Problem number 5. Find the slope of a line passing through point positive 3 and 7 and point negative 5 and positive 9. Again, we are going to find the values of x sub 1 and y sub 1 and x sub 2 and y sub 2. So our 3 here, this will be the value for x sub 1. Our 7 is the value for y sub 1. Negative 5, that is the value for x sub 2. And positive 9 is the value for y sub 2. We are then going to use the slope formula. The slope formula is m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So the value for y sub 2, that is positive 9, minus the value for y sub 1, which is positive 7, divided by x sub 2, that is negative 5, minus the value of x sub 1, which is positive 3. 9 minus 7, that is positive 2, divided by negative 5 minus 3, that will give us negative 8. So our slope here will be 2 all over 8. This can be simplified. So 2 is common between the numerator and the denominator. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 8 divided by 2 is 4, and the sign is negative. So our slope for problem number 5 is negative 1 all over 4. Problem number 6. Find the x-coordinate of the second point if the slope of the line containing the points 4 and 2 and x and 10 is equal to 4. Okay, so we have here 2 points and a slope. Okay, so for point 1, we have, okay, let's call this as point 1. So our point 1, we have positive 4 and positive 2. For point 2, so our point 2, we have x, which is the unknown, and positive 10. So let us identify the x sub 1, y sub 1, and x sub 2, and y sub 2. Okay, so since this is our point 1, so positive 4 and positive 2. So since this is point 1, so positive 4 will be x sub 1, and positive 2 will be y sub 1. For point 2, x, this will be x sub 2, so it is the unknown, and 10 will be y sub 2. Okay, so let us now solve for the value of x sub 2. So our m here, so let's not forget the m or the slope. The m is positive 4. Okay. So the formula now, the formula for slope, again, that is m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And then we are going to substitute the values. For m we have 4 equals 2. Our y sub 2, what is our y sub 2? That is positive 10 minus y sub 1, that is positive 2. And then our x sub 2 is x minus x sub 1, which is positive 4. Okay. So by cross multiplication, so we are going to cross multiply. So this will be 4 multiplied by the quantity of x minus 4, and since this is considered as 1, so 10 minus 2 will remain here. 10 minus 2. So this will be 4x minus 16 equals to 10 minus 2, that is positive 8. So transpose negative 16 to the other side. So what will be left here is 4x equals to 8 plus 16. Okay, so 4x here will be equal to, that is 24, and to find 4x you have to cancel out 4, so divide both sides of the equation by 4. So our x here will be equal to 24 divided by 4, or that will give us positive 6. So therefore, our x sub 2 is equal to 6. Problem number 7. Find the y-coordinate of the second point if the slope of the line containing the points positive 4 and positive 4 and point positive 6 and y is equal to 4. So again, let us first write down the values of the 2 points. So for point 1, we have positive 4 and positive 4. And for point 2, we have 6 and the unknown, which is y. And then we are going to identify x sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 1, y sub 2. So on the first point, positive 4, this is our x sub 1. And the second positive 4, that is our y sub 1. Positive 6, this is our x sub 2, and y is our y sub 2. So our unknown is y sub 2. So to solve for y sub 2, the formula now for slope is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Our y sub 2, that is the unknown, so let's represent that as y minus y sub 1, that is 4, all over x sub 2, that is positive 6, minus x sub 1, which is positive 4. And let us not forget that our slope is equal to 4. So m here will be equal to 4. And then by cross multiplication, we can multiply 4 and the quantity 6 minus 4. So this will be 4 multiplied by 6 minus 4 equals to y minus 4. So this will be 4 times 2 equals to y minus 4. So our y here will be equal to 4 times 2, that is 8, and then we will transpose negative 4 to the other side. This will become positive 4. So our 8, or rather our y will be 8 plus 4, and that is 12. So y here, this is y sub 2. So our value for y sub 2 is positive 12.